Good morning, everybody. Sam here, United People's TV. You know where you are. It is a lovely, miserable, moody looking Tuesday morning, and I'm here with all the latest Manchester United transfer news, with all the latest Manchester United news. And as is the case every single day this summer, there's always a load of things to talk about. As you can see from the overlay, as you can see from the thumbnail, slight disappointment this morning in the fact that I had to bring you news about what looks like a potential delay to Manchester United unveiling Raphael Varane. That's going to be the main story. Then we're going to be discussing a lot of updates on a lot of potential outgoings at Manchester United. We're talking about Jesse Lingard, Andreas Pereira, Axel Tuanzebe, Brandon Williams, Facundo Pellistri. There's so many to talk about. And then we're talking about new signings, which guaranteed Manchester United want to make more signings. Whether we do or not, that's a bit different. But we do want to make it. Going to be speaking about Harry Kane. We need to have a discussion about Harry Kane and lots more. So as always, throughout this entire stream, as you are doing right now, I can see the comments are absolutely flying. You let me know where you're watching this from, what town and what country. And throughout the stream, I'll try and give you a few shout outs and I'll try and bring up the fabled United People's TV map, which I haven't actually brought out in a few days. Don't really know why. But let me know where you're watching from, as always. And throughout the entire stream, you know what to do. Fire in your comments, fire in your questions, send in your super chats if you want to help me and you want to help support the channel and you really want to get your question answered. And let's just get straight to it. Before I get into it, though, this is something that a lot of you have been asking for. I look at that. We've got Stefan in the comments, as always, from Basel. Good morning to you, my friend. The Fantasy League is back, ladies and gentlemen. Hell yeah. Look how many of you have already signed up. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, nearly, I don't know how, that's like 400 so far, something like that. Anyway, the Fantasy League, it's official. It's on the official, not Manchester United, the official Premier League website. As always, it's free to join. You know it's free to join. And last season, what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave a link in the chat now. Click that link. It should go straight through and you auto join. You don't really need to know the code to join the league. Last season, we gave away a signed Eric Cantona shirt as the prize for this league. This year, we haven't sorted the prize just yet, but don't worry, it's going to be sexy. So you make sure you join that league, get involved. It's free. And why not? Brandon Mellors, thank you very much for Super Chat, my friend, but you didn't leave a comment. I can't see what you're saying. I'll try and keep an eye out in the comments for what you are saying. That was silly, wasn't it? Can't see you. But let's talk about Raphael Varane. Raphael Varane, Manchester United agreed a deal for him a couple of weeks ago. And was it a couple of weeks ago? Was it last week? It might have been last week, in fact. It all got agreed. Man United, we were all buzzing. Absolutely buzzing. We had just signed Raphael Varane, at least agreed a deal for him. And now all we're waiting for is him to be officially unveiled as a Manchester United player. Now, all the reports said this week was when it was going to happen, from Monday this week, because he was signed with it towards Wednesday last week. And therefore, we were all just waiting for Varane. But it looks like we might have to wait a little bit longer, which is so unusual for Manchester United signings, isn't it? This is coming from James Ducker from the Telegraph last night, who I consider a very reliable source of news. So Manchester United may have to wait until next week to complete the signing of Raphael Varane. He is yet to travel to Manchester as of Monday, as he awaits a visa and will then have to quarantine before undergoing a medical. Now, with Manchester United and signings and when things are delayed, a lot of the times it's our fault. This time, it's not really Manchester United's fault. We've got to wait for a visa for Raphael Varane. That's out of our hands. We're going to have to wait for him to undergo a quarantine. That's out of our hands. Although I'm very confused about the quarantine because the rules changed in the UK yesterday. That means that any arrival in the UK from USA or EU countries, including where Raphael Varane is, don't have to quarantine if they're double vaccinated. And I'm pretty sure the whole French team was double vaccinated before Euro 2020. I'm confused. I'm very, very confused. Brandon, there you are. Joining from Milton Keynes. Can't wait for that solid defense formation this season. Hey, you're not the only one, Brandon. And we know that he is going to be a big, big part of that. And that's Raphael Varane. And look, it is disappointing. We all know it's disappointing. But it seems like we're just going to have to wait that little bit longer to see Varane in a Manchester United shirt. And I suppose the only concern I've got about that is the Premier League now kicks off in 11 days. 11 days, and we currently don't have Varane as an official Manchester United player. He's not in Manchester. He's not settled in his own home. He's not settled with his family and his kids in Manchester. So he's got a lot to do in a short space of time to be mentally ready for that game against Leeds on the 14th of August, but also physically ready because he hasn't really had too much of an opportunity to train with his teammates. And at least in this situation, I'm not going to be having a go at Manchester United. This seems like it's out of our hands, which is frustrating. Yes, very frustrating. But there's nothing we can really do about it. I didn't really know there was an issue with his visa. I knew there might be quarantine. Apparently, there's going to be both. And it is the fact that neither of those situations are really our problem. There you go. Look, Selman saying, why is a visa only a problem for Varane? I don't know. When it comes to working visas, you have to, I don't know. I don't work for the Home Office, so I don't know how visas work and the requirements for them and who needs them and who doesn't need them. But apparently it's delaying his move to Manchester United. What's your opinion on that? What's your feelings towards Varane? What's your any questions you've got around Varane? Let me know in the comments. I'll head down and I'll answer your questions and your points of view on Varane before we move on to the next topic. For me, as I said, I'm just a little bit frustrated for the fact that we actually got the deal done in time to bring him into the club, to bring him in so he could settle and be ready for that game against Leeds. And it's now been taken out of our hands because we've got delays with the visa, delays with his quarantine, delays with self-isolation, X, Y, Z, which just means that the good work that we did by getting that deal done quickly is sort of undone, but outside of our hands, which is that's a little bit frustrating if I'm being completely honest. Oh, look at that. Stuart Williamson must be up in Scotland then, my friend, saying, was it St Andrews yesterday? The place was buzzing with United fans. How was it? You got any pictures, Stuart? Send them to me on Twitter at @SamPeoples_. Lovely to see that. Got Alok, saying probably another Friday announcement in the pipeline. I'm not sure. That's basically what they're saying is it might be next week. So we might have to wait for next week. Denise saying, at least we've got him. We'll wait for the unveiling. Any more good news on the horizon? Denise, I hope there's good news on the horizon. There is going to be a lot of toing and froing, I think, is the best way to describe it, because United have got to do so many transfers and sales and loans before we get a new signing in, unfortunately. Got Parshu saying, talk about what we actually need now. You know what we need, my friend. You know we need a defensive midfielder. You know that. And I've been banging on about that since the start. You're also saying, no need to sign, no need to worry. He's signed. I'm not worried about him signing. I'm worried about the fact that we need to get him ready for that Leeds game. That's something that's a concern, and that's ahead of us. That's something we have to discuss. I'll look at that. Anuj, how you doing, my friend? Good morning to you. Damadai, can you recap? I've just joined. We're just starting about Raphael Varane, my friend, and it's just the fact that we're probably going to have to wait until next week before we see him in a Manchester United shirt. It's a little bit of a disappointment. But the only reason I'm saying that, and I keep repeating it, so many of you in the comments saying, oh, it's already done, man. Don't worry about it. I'm not worried about the deal being done. I'm worried about Leeds. I'm worried about the game coming up. And Varane has to start that game. And right now, he's not a Manchester United player. So, yeah, I will be worried about that. Thank you very much. Before I move on to the next point, you all know the drill by now. You drop likes on the video. You leave your comments. You fire any super chats. That all helps. If you really want to help the channel, become a member of the squad. There's a little join button down below there. There's a link in the description on Facebook too. It's less than the price of a pint. Any money that comes in is getting put back into the channel. You know that. So you're helping the channel grow. And there's so many of you join, and it just helps take the channel forward. Got Tony saying, I'm worried. Good morning, by the way, Tony, part of the gang. I'm worried about the new signings will not be fit for the start of the season. Memories of last year's start. And I suppose that's definitely something, Tony, that's playing on my mind. Was it Crystal Palace? It was so long ago, the start of last season. I kind of forgotten about it, but I think it was Crystal Palace. Whether or not it was last season or the season before, I remember it. United have had notoriously slow starts to the last few campaigns. And this summer, we gave ourselves the opportunity to reverse that trend by bringing Sancho and getting it done, by bringing in Varane and getting it done. And right now, we're 11 days away from it, and Sancho hasn't trained with Manchester United once. And Raphael Varane is yet to actually be announced as a Manchester United player. That game against Crystal Palace, we got pumped 3-1. We still needed signings. There was huge disdain and discontent towards the Glazers. And United need to start on the front foot this year. That's something that has to change. We have to start strong, get to the top of the league, and stay there. I want teams to be chasing us, not us to be chasing teams. So Varane's going to be unveiled when Sam unveils the video editor, says Orgasmo. Good morning to you, my friend. How are your girls? How are your children?
There's 4 of them. I'm sure you're a bit knackered by now. But hey, look, hopefully the video editor will be unveiled today. Boop, 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 boop. Fingers crossed anyway. I hope to bring a video later on. But let's move on to the next point. There's lots of good comments. There's lots of you joining in. How are you doing? Drop likes on the video as well. And keep firing in your comments. Stefan, you're saying I'm right about the Leeds game. However, Sancho would also be important there. But he's not at the camp at the moment, is he? It was important that Sancho is ready. You're right, Stefan. It is important that Sancho is ready. He's joining up with the team this week up in Scotland for their week up there. He's not there at the moment. He didn't join on Monday, but that's not to say that he's not going to be joining tomorrow or the next day. I'm not really too worried about Sancho. I think he'll be okay. With Raphael Varane, he's not English. He hasn't lived in Manchester before. He's bringing his family and he's bringing his wife and kids. It's a much bigger switch for Varane than it is for Sancho coming back to Manchester, which is where he was before he went to Dortmund. But as I've said before, and I've maintained this, and that's because it's the truth, Manchester United needs to do a lot before we make new signings. I want to sit here right now, every single day, bringing you updates on Saul Niguez, on Ruben Neves, on Eduardo Camavinga. The fact of the matter is, there isn't going to be much of an update on any of them until Manchester United clear the decks. There's so many players that Manchester United need to be getting rid of before we bring new players in that it's going to be quiet when it comes to new signings until that happens. And that's why every morning I'm going to bring you the biggest and latest updates on all of these players, because that's as soon as that happens, as soon as we start getting a bit of money in for the players who are leaving, that's when we can start getting excited about a potential defensive midfielder. And Jesse Lingard, he's top of that list for me. Jesse Lingard, I think, should be leaving. We can certainly get the most money for him. Sky Sports saying that West Ham believe they only have a 10% chance of re-signing Jesse Lingard from Manchester United. Lingard is valued at £30 million. You let me know what you think about that in the comments. What do you think about Lingard? I know we've had these conversations before, but maybe that conversation changes. Maybe your opinion changes on Lingard and what you think we should do. But let me know whether you think we should keep him. We've got Pierre in the comments saying, congrats on the 200k sub, Sam. Thank you very much, Pierre. You all know how important all of you are to me in the community, and you've all made that happen. So big up, congratulations to every single one of you for 200,000 subs, because we all did it together. Let's see what's going on here. Got Gary. How you doing, Gary? Always on there every morning on Facebook. I know you're there, my friend. Thank you very much for joining in again. You're saying sell him. And I'll be honest, it's completely my opinion on Jesse Lingard. And I've said this before, Jesse Lingard is not a bad footballer in any way, shape or form. He could be a fantastic player for Leicester. He could be a fantastic player for Arsenal, for Spurs. But the ship on his Manchester United career has sailed. He's not going to be bursting back through. And Jesse Lingard, who is this? It's not going to happen. He's had purple patches. I remember he had like 1 month where he won Player of the Month. He won Premier League Player of the Month as well. Scored like 3 or 4 goals. Under Mourinho, I believe it was. He scored plenty of important goals for us in big games. He loves scoring at Wembley. But the ship has sailed on Jesse Lingard. We've got Amad Diallo. We've got Jadon Sancho. We've now got Anthony Elanga coming through. We've got Marcus Rashford, Dan James, Anthony Martial. We've got loads of players who's playing on the wings. And Jesse Lingard could do a job at United. But given what we need this summer, and if we need to sell players before we buy players, Jesse Lingard's got to be top of that list, because he's going to be 30 million. You're effectively going to be selling Jesse Lingard and buying a defensive midfielder pretty much right there. Stefan saying, if we can get him for 30 million, we have to do it. We do have to do it. Martin saying, West Ham, no, we want to sell Lingard, so why will they want to pay 30 million? Because, Martin, he is a valuable English Premier League established, not top level, but he's a very, very good player. And if it wasn't for the fact that England had, like, I don't know, Jack Grealish, Jadon Sancho, Bukayo Saka, Phil Foden, Marcus Rashford, we were littered with attacking talent at Euro 2020. If they weren't there, then Jesse Lingard certainly would have forced himself into a position there, because he played so well at West Ham last season. Josh saying, can we ban the Rice talk today? Well, you just talked about Rice, Josh. So you've broken your own rule, my friend. Look, Declan Rice isn't coming, ladies and gents. You can talk about him if you want, but he is not coming. Let's speak about more signings and more stuff that is going on here. Andreas Pereira. I'm ready to play. I'm not a boy anymore. I'm a man. I am a man. I'm ready to take responsibility. I don't know why I went Texas there, but I did. but he is ready to play. And Andreas Pereira, look, he's angling for a move away. And I think he should be getting that move away. Manchester United, again, there's no chance that Andreas Pereira has a position in this squad for me next season. No chance at all. And it's not because I'm a huge agenda against Pereira, XY. I'm just being ruthless as a fan that I think Solskjaer has to be ruthless as a manager. That needs to happen. And therefore, Andreas Pereira, it doesn't matter if he scores a banger against Brentford. It doesn't matter if he could do a job next season. No. Move on. Sell him. Get the money. Orgasmo, how you doing, my friend there? As always. If Jesse Lingard wants to leave, if Jesse Lingard wants to have any chance of making the World Cup squad, he will need to push for a move. That's why Jesse Lingard was smart when he pushed for the move to West Ham. And that's why you're right there again, my friend. If he wants that, he needs regular first-team football in the Premier League at a top. Maybe not the Premier League. Somewhere else, you can do it out in Germany. So Sancho showed that. Bellingham showed that. Don't have to do it in the Premier League. But Lingard needs football. Pereira needs football. Josh saying Pereira should have left a couple of years ago. Look, we lent him out. We loaned him out. And he did actually quite good at Lazio. But they don't, right at this particular moment in time, I don't think they want to take him out on loan again. We've got Mohamed saying we should sell him to Lazio. We had a loan with an option to buy for 23. I'd sell him for 5 to 10 just to raise funds. Pereira is not good enough, says Adam Chitty. And Victorim, my alter ego, obviously this is me leaving this comment. Andreas Pereira will stay. Ollie likes him, I think. I don't... Look, it's... Andreas, but we have to be ruthless. We need the ruthless streak back this summer. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has shown he can be ruthless. Absolutely. When he came in January, Marouane Fellaini was shipped off immediately. That was the first thing he did. And that was the biggest example I've got of the ruthlessness of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But he's done it with other players. Plenty of players have been shipped out of Manchester United. So what we need this summer, I would say Lingard and Pereira are the two biggest examples of what I want to see Solskjaer doing as a manager. I don't think you'll struggle to find suitors for either of them. I just hope that we don't price ourselves out of moves for both of them. Because Andreas Pereira, hey, look, we're not going to get 20 plus million for Andreas Pereira. Let's not kid ourselves. I think in a region of 10 to 15 million would be a very good fee and an honest fee for Andreas Pereira. I think Jesse Lingard, I think you're looking between 20 and 30 million. He proved himself as a top draw player last year in West Ham in those few months of form he showed. He deserves a move to a top club, and United deserve good money for him too. So between the two of them, you should be getting between 30 and 40 million, and that in itself would fund. And that's why I keep repeating it, because I know football isn't as simple as us fans look at it on the outside, looking in, going, oh, look, you don't need Lingard and Pereira, sell them both, then sign a player. Easy as that. I know it's never as easy as that, but it should be as easy as that. We should just be looking for buyers for Lingard and Pereira and getting it done, man. Simple as that. Watching from Inverurie. Maybe I got that right. In Scotland. How you doing, John? As always, nice to see the members joining in. Josh, you're saying, let's be honest, Sam, loans are fine, but if they're never going to break into the main first team squad, why waste funds? Because loans give you the ability to get rid of a player, get their wages off the books if somebody doesn't want to sign them at that point in time. And that's why I've always maintained that if David de Gea was leaving this summer, it would probably be on a loan deal with an obligation to buy, because clubs can't really afford to spend big money this summer. So if we let Pereira go to Lazio, I would let them go, pay all the wages, and have an obligation to buy next year. Not an option to buy, where they can turn it down, an obligation to buy. They're different things. And that's what I want to see United do with Pereira. Not with Lingard. I think we should just sell Lingard straight away. Orgasmo saying, with Tellez injured until September, Williams will probably stay now. Well, I believe... Oh, no, that's Axel Tuanzebe. Let's go back to Williams anyway, because you mentioned it. You're right. You might be right, Orgasmo, because as you've all seen, I'm sure you've all seen, Alex Tellez is there on crutches. It looks like he's going to be missing until probably September. And Manchester United, we're not massively spoilt in the fullback department. We've got good strength in depth as long as you don't get injuries, really. But you've got Shaw, you've got Tellez, and then maybe you've got Brandon Williams. But this is the latest on Brandon Williams from James Ducker, saying Norwich City are hoping to sign Brandon Williams from Manchester United. Southampton bought at the 3.75 million cost. in loan fees and wages for Williams, but Norwich are understood to be keen, and Williams too is keen for more playing time. I can see someone spamming the comments here, so therefore you, sir, are getting blocked. Goodbye, Hassan. Auf Wiedersehen, my friend. Anyway, let's go back to here. You let me know what you think about that then, because as Orgasmus pointed out there, it looks like Alex Telles is missing until September. So can Manchester United afford to be letting Brandon Williams go? Does Diogo Dalot's future now get called into question because of that injury to Alex Telles? Do we need to keep Diogo Dalot at the club because of this injury? Do we need him for the strength and depth? Or is it right that we get rid of Brandon Williams? We send him out on loan to a Premier League club, give him that experience. He'll be in a relegation battle all season with Norwich. They are going to struggle this year. Is that the right thing to do? Or should we be keeping him at the club? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll go down to the comments. My own personal opinion on this is quite simple. I think we should be letting Brandon Williams go. 3.75 covering a loan fee and wages. It's good for him. I don't think Williams is good enough to be a long-term Manchester United player. It just depends whether or not you think that there's a value to him staying at the club, because we need that cover. I don't think Brandon Williams has really properly kicked on since he burst into the team, which kind of surprised me. He looked very, very good. Let's see what happens, but I just don't really think that we can. And of course, Kieran Trippier, man, is a discussion that we need to have, because are we really going to be getting Kieran Trippier if we keep the likes of Brandon Williams and Diogo Dalot at the club? It depends what the ambition of the club is, because if we really want Kieran Trippier, there's no way that Diogo Dalot stays. AC Milan, whether that's on loan, I don't know. Obligation to buy, sell him, I don't know. Keep him at the club. Options. But Diogo Dalot, again, hasn't kicked on like Brandon Williams, but Diogo's been very unfortunate with injuries, hasn't he? With Kieran Trippier, I don't think there's any chance of us signing Kieran Trippier when you've got Brandon Williams and Diogo Dalot at the club. Let's have a look here. Go down to the comments. This has got Orgasmo, as always. You're saying he should leave on loan 100%. Well, at least you're not sitting on the fence there, my friend. Rajan. Oh, Rajan, you are saying, where'd you go? You're saying on Facebook, how you doing? Drop a like on the video on Facebook. You're saying sell Dalot and buy Kieran. I think we're going to have to do more than just sell Dalot to get Kieran Trippier, but that's a good point. You got John Ewan, you're saying sell Williams and keep Dalot for cover this season. If we do buy Trippier, Dalot could go. The thing is, John, with the Trippier situation, it's going to be the other way around. The only way we sign Trippier is if Dalot goes first. And that's something that we didn't do with Sancho and Varane. We actually made the signings before we made the sales, but now we've put the brakes on. We need to make sales before we make signings. Victorium, there you are, my friend. How you doing? You're saying, Sam, the One Football app says Woodward wants all Deadwood gone from United. We're looking to loan or sell around 10 players. Dalot and Williams staying. Tellers injured. Evers and Trippier might come in if United sell. Well, you just summed up the whole video there. Nicely done. Look, Manchester United want to make more signings. That is 100%. United are not done in this transfer window. It's just that United now, we're suffering the products of our own work, really. The reason we can't shift Phil Jones is because he's on a bumper contract with big wages. No one wants to pay it. The reason people are struggling to sign Brandon Williams is because we're putting in big loan fees, cover the wages, and a fee on top. That's why his move to Southampton fell. Looks like Norwich are going to do it, and I think that'll be a good move to Norwich. Norwich, was it Daniel Farke? I think it's Daniel Farke. Came up again. Norwich are the up and down. They're the yo-yo team in the Premier League. They come in and they go out. But I think that'll be a good move for Brandon Williams. I don't know whether it means he'll come back to United, but we just need to get these players off the books. Let's have a look. Let's go down here. Signing Trippier rules out options for both Dalot and Williams. Rules out or rules in. I think if we sign Trippier, it rules in the fact that we're going to be getting rid of Dalot and probably Williams too. It depends who you then want as a backup to Shaw. Because if Telles is out, Ethan Laird, I think he's going to be going back out on loan. Who plays at left back? United might be struggling there. I don't know. Alok saying this season Martial has to step it up. Don't worry about that. I'm speaking about Martial later on, my friend. And I'm also going to be speaking about Harry Kane. So don't you dare be going anywhere anytime soon, anybody. Because there's so much to go through. There really is this morning. So much to go through. I'll say this one more time as well. If you want to help support the channel, become a member. Just click join down below. It's less than the price of a pint. So many of you have done it. And honestly, it's the thing that's going to help take this channel from here to there. this new video editor coming on that's been helped by the guys who have backed us by becoming squad members. It's less than the price of a pint, as I said. Just do what you can to support the channel, and it all makes such a big difference. And the big giveaways, don't forget the giveaways. Head over to Discord. I'll say it one more time now. I keep doing this on stream, but why not? It's a great prize. We have got, look at that. We've got the I Love This Game giveaway. This is only a couple of days left now that you've got to enter this draw. You know what it is by now. This has been sent. I've got it open upside down. That's probably why. Sent to us by good old Paddy Evra. Everyone loves Evra, right? We've got the letter there. We've got the bag there. Oh, lovely. Oh, very nice. We've got the lovely pink hoodie. It could be a present for you. It could be a present for your missus. It could be a present for anybody. It could be whatever you want it to be. And that is my thank you to everybody who has helped get the channel to 200,000. All you got to do is head over to our Discord. It's free to enter. You know it's free. Just head over to that Discord now. Please get involved, man. I want all of you on that Discord. The more, the merrier. Go over there. Go to the giveaway channel. Drop a like on that photo. I'll choose a winner before Friday, and I'll get it sent out. Right. Let's head back to the comments here. Orgasmo, how you doing? Signing Trippier might have an adverse effect on AWB's progress. He didn't have a steady-sided right player in front of him last year. It's an interesting comment. Let me know what you think about Orgasmo's comment there. Do you think that it could negatively affect AWB by signing Trippier? You let me know in the comments and I'll read a few of them out. My opinion there on that one, my friend, is I don't think so. I personally think that the biggest, as you said there, the biggest issue that I feel Wan-Bissaka had last year going forward was the fact that he had no right winger in front of him. I think Jadon Sancho is going to help Wan-Bissaka's game come on so much this season. I can't wait to see what that partnership does together. I think it's going to be fantastic. I think Wan-Bissaka is going to be like, what is this? What is this witchcraft? Having somebody in front of me who I know is what he's going to do every single week, who I know I can do a quick 1-2 with, and I can build like a telepathic relationship with because I know where he's going to be without looking. Last year, it was Dan James, it was Greenwood, it was Rashford. It changed every time. The player, the style changed every time. So Wan-Bissaka didn't know whether to run or to hold back. I think bringing in Kieran Trippier should have the same sort of effect that Telles had on Shaw. Trippier would want to play more, give it. I would agree on that. Trippier would have more expectations at Manchester United than I think Alex Telles did. But if Wan-Bissaka plays good enough and great enough, like Luke Shaw did last season, he will keep him out of the team. And I think it will be that'll be very competitive. Trippier and Wan-Bissaka will be extremely competitive on the right. And I think it will make both of them better players at this point in their careers. My own personal opinion, but let me see what you think. We've got Parshu saying, Trippier is key for our new formation. 4-3-3, quality on the ball, complements playing from the back and playing only one defensive midfielder. I think that Wan-Bissaka can do that as well. Gary, you're saying, I don't think that signing Trippier would hurt Wan-Bissaka. You're saying AWB is professional enough to know that's football and that's the way it goes. Look, if you're an elite level team, you have two very good players in every single position. You look at City's team last year, you take the whole first 11 out, their second 11 is ridiculous as well. That's what top teams do. They have two very good players in every position, and the internal competition for that position keeps people hungry. Make sure that complacency doesn't kick into their game, because as soon as a player knows that he's playing every week, he doesn't have to try that hard, does he? Because he knows he's going to play every week. And that is why I think Wan-Bissaka could really benefit from someone like Trippier. Alok, you're saying no concern for AWB. With Jadon ahead of him, we will see attacking threat from AWB. I think so as well. I really can't wait to see what happens there. But moving on from Wan-Bissaka, there's an important deal that should hopefully be done. And I hope this one does go through. And that's reports from James Ducker again, saying that Aston Villa have emerged as serious challengers to Newcastle for Tuanzebe. 5 million for the cost of the loan and to cover his wages. Where would you rather see Axel Tuanzebe go? Would you rather see him going to Newcastle, which is a very, very defensive formation? We've already had this discussion before, and I discussed whether or not you thought a move to Newcastle would benefit him. I think it would, but I also think that Aston Villa would be an even better move for Axel Tuanzebe. He was there with Dean Smith. He got them promoted. He's got an affection to Aston Villa. He played there with Tyrone Mings, and I think it'll be a great move for Axel Tuanzebe. And out of the two, between Villa and Newcastle, because he knows Aston Villa, I would love to see him move there personally. Orgasmo, you're still disagreeing. You're saying Ole doesn't rotate. That's the issue, and that was a huge issue with Solskjaer last year. A massive problem that he has to fix, and I think he will fix it. This year, he's got better players in. He's got players that he knows he can trust in that second 11 that last year I just don't think he had. So I think that's something that we definitely need to see this year. You're right, Orgasmo, and it's something I think we will see. Let's see what you think about our man, Axel. Where do you think he should go? Let's have a look. Fellow with a Stella, how you doing, my friend? Oh, you should join as a member. I need you as a member, my friend. Seriously, especially with that username. Gary, you're saying Villa. Every single one of you. Let's have a look. Villa, 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 Villa. Ba-da-ba-da-ba. Every single one of you saying Villa. And I think you're all completely right. You're all spot on. I think Villa would be a much better move for Tuanzebe. And I'll be honest, I really feel for Tuanzebe because I think last year, obviously it's hypothetical and I can't prove it, but I think last year, if he didn't get his injuries, he would have established himself as our first choice centre-back alongside Harry Maguire. I think out of the options that we had at centre-back last year, Axel Tuanzebe had the blend of the physicality of Eric Bailly with the quality on the ball of Victor Lindelof. And he put those two together and he was therefore the best partner easily for Harry Maguire. But injuries sort of ruined him. We saw him come back against PSG and he pocketed Neymar. Tuanzebe is a very, very good centre-back. He needs regular game time like any defender does because a lot of defending is about rhythm, is about muscle memory, is about doing certain things. And, every week you just build the confidence up. And he just didn't get that. And he really needs regular football. And I don't think that's going to happen at Manchester United next season. I think a loan move is the right thing for him. And in the Premier League, look, I'll tell you what, if Villa fancy it, and I think this would probably be a fair deal, you can have Axel Tuanzebe on loan for free if you can just give us Jack Grealish. Just give us Grealish. City doesn't need Grealish. You don't need the 100 million. I think that would be a fair deal. I'm fine with it. Only because it's you. Only because I'm doing you a favour, basically, Villa, letting that happen. But just don't let Grealish go to City because I quite like Jack Grealish. I don't really want to hate him. It's unfortunate. Gary saying, should we put a buyback clause on him, Sam? He's not going to be sold, my friend. He's going to be loaned. And I fear for his future at United because any player that's loaned out for more than one season. I know some of you have come and said, look, Dean Henderson, Jesse Lingard. There's certain players who have gone out and spent more than 1 year on loan and they've come back and had a career at United. But I think if he goes out on loan again and we've signed Varane, it's going to be very hard for Tuanzebe to come in and break that partnership up now. So I'm not sure whether he's going to have a career at Manchester United anymore after this. I might be wrong. Maxwell, as a member, how you doing, Maxwell? Nice to see you, my friend. Can he be converted to a CDM? Remember AWB used to be a winger. Remember that Tuanzebe, I believe, made his debut at defensive mid away at Arsenal. He could technically play there, but look, we shouldn't be in the position of Manchester United trying to force players into becoming a defensive midfielder. We should just fucking go out and sign one. Simple as that. Don't show the ambition with Varane. Don't show the ambition with Sancho and then try and force a defensive midfielder. No, just go and sign one. Simple as that. Josh, you're saying let City sign Grealish and Kane and then watch them get banned for FFP. FFP, come on, man. What is FFP? It is a load of shit. Doesn't mean anything. Pasha, you're right. We need a world-class DM. We know we need a world-class DM. But it is what it is. Moving on from Tuanzebe. So look, we've had a nice discussion there about, well, not nice discussion, but we talked about Varane. Looks like he's going to be delayed. We've spoken about Lingard, Pereira, Williams, Tuanzebe. 4 deals that United could and should be doing this summer. If we do that, new signings are afoot. But something that's come in, which is a little bit frustrating, I suppose, for Dean Henderson for sure, is he's missing the training camp in Scotland this week. He got COVID a few weeks ago, and right now he's still suffering from fatigue, because some people have always said that kind of long fatigue that some athletes get from COVID. And he's missing training this week. And reports from James Ducker saying David de Gea looks likely to start in goal for the Premier League season opener against Leeds, as Dean Henderson still has to recover from getting COVID. You let me know what you think about that in the comments below. And look, I'm fine with that. We've got two incredible goalkeepers in David de Gea and Dean Henderson. I just don't think you're going to be able to keep both of them extremely happy all season long. It's going to be the wrong sort of I know I'm going to sort of... I am going to go back on myself here and say, look, you've got to have two great players in each position. Goalkeeper is different. It's very hard to keep two top-level goalkeepers very happy. Very hard. And I'd like to know, let me know in the comments below examples of this that has happened over the years at different clubs, different countries, don't care where, but a club that has kept two top draw goalkeepers. I'm not talking about De Gea and Romero. That's a top draw goalkeeper and a backup. But two goalkeepers who really feel they should be starting for their club are both kept happy. I remember when Fergie, back in the start of De Gea's career, and it was Lingard and De Gea, and they were switching week in, week out, because De Gea, he was still finding his feet. He wasn't as assured as he was now. That was back in the old early, thin, spangly De Gea days where it was just a bit odd. And Lingard came in, and I remember he kept clean sheets galore. But I don't think the Romero and De Gea situation is fair, because Romero was fine and happy to be a backup. It's not a good comparison. Off the top of my head, I don't know any examples of keeping players like De Gea and Henderson, who both want to be starting week in week, 38 games in the Premier League season. That's what they want to play. I just don't think you can keep both happy. Victor M saying, so lucky we kept him. I'm happy. I love De Gea. Look, I love De Gea as well. I've gone on record plenty of times and I've said that Dean should be our number one next season. I think he is our number one next season. And the fact that he's injured means that De Gea's got an opportunity. You're saying Dean is a great goalie, but not a champions maker like De Gea can do. I kind of disagree on that. I think Henderson is a better goalkeeper than people give him credit for. And I think he's going to keep developing into a great goalkeeper. And I think he's going to do that at Manchester United. Orgasmo, you're spot on here. Romero was massively untreated by the club, especially when we blocked his move to Everton. They wouldn't pay the loan fee, so we blocked him and he just sat on the bench for a year. Wasted a year of his career. After everything he did for us to do that to him was very, very bad form from United. He was mistreated, but he was happy. That's a good point, actually. PSG, they've got how many goals? They've got like 8 goalkeepers on their books. I think they've just got rid of Areola to West Ham. But I don't know. For me, I struggle to see De Gea and Henderson. I think it's going to be an issue as a season. If we keep De Gea and Henderson this year, I think it's going to manifest itself into an issue as the season goes on. Stuart, you're saying PJ to St Andrews deal, United deal worth a bottle of Iron Brew. You're talking about Phil Jones. Oh my God. Don't mention Phil Jones, please. Unless it's about him leaving. And again, it's not like a horrible, offensive thing to say about Phil Jones, but the ship has well and truly sailed, gone off the edge of the cliff, and just disappeared into nothingness. That's how far beyond Phil Jones's career at Manchester United is, in my opinion. Another player who's being lined up for an exit, as I said, busy morning with news, ladies and gents, is James Garner. This one, for me, is quite relatively straightforward, but again, not so straightforward. Sheffield United, Nottingham Forest, looks like he's going to be going back on loan to the Championship. He's going to be good there. Let's see what goes on. But Manchester United, really, you're going to be loaning out players who can play in defensive midfield when you don't really have any defensive midfielders? No. Sign a defensive midfielder. James Garner could maybe play there this season. We need to sign defensive mids. You've got EA Sunday saying, Sam, good morning. Membership does not work in Nigeria. It doesn't work in Nigeria. Very surprised that YouTube doesn't allow that to work in Nigeria. So many fans out in Nigeria. Sorry, my friend. I didn't know that. If you can, send in a super chat. If not, just stay in the comments there. Drop a like on the video and you keep sending in your chats. Ricky Thompson saying Jones and Varane partnership by Christmas. I think I just threw up in my mouth. I wish you hadn't done that, Ricky. You've put that idea in my head now and I can't get rid of it. But look, James Garner, he deserves a move. He had a good move last year at Nottingham Forest. So I'd probably say go back there would be the best thing that he could do. But Man United have got to be getting in midfielders before we're looking at getting rid of other midfielders. Got Luke watching this morning. Good morning, Sam. Welcome to Scratch Street. How you doing, man? Member of the family, as always. And Georgie saying, do I think Matic can last for, let's say, half the season as our prime defensive mid whilst being rotated? It looks like we're not getting a CDM this summer. I hope I am wrong. I hope you're wrong, Georgie. My gut tells me you're not wrong, but that it very much depends on whether or not we sell players. And look, we've spoken about it this morning. We've got Lingard, Pereira, we've got Tuanzebe, we've got Williams and Garner. That's 5 players either loaned or sold. That needs to happen, man. So we've got 28 days now, 28 days later until the transfer window closes. 4 weeks for United to do a hell of a lot. We've already done a hell of a lot. We've done two of the 3 most important things this summer we've done. We've signed Sancho, we've signed Varane. We need to sign a defensive midfielder, and we need to clear the decks. We need to get rid of players because you can't keep this whole squad happy. And look at that. Utkarsh saying membership doesn't work in Nepal either. What are you doing, YouTube? Come on. Let the people join the family. You're rude. You're keeping people out. Look, anybody who mentions Phil Jones in my comments now, you're not getting banned. But Phil Jones taking corners. That was... Anybody for a corner? Anyway, QPR away for a corner. Iconically bad, that photo. Iconically bad. Phil Jones on corners. My word. But look, Garner, cool. Lingard, Pereira, Tuanzebe, Williams, so much to do. And another one. Jeez, United have got so much to do. This one's going to be straightforward, though. Facundo Pellistri, he spent last season on loan at Deportivo Alaves in La Liga. And I believe he's going to be going back there on loan. He's expected to depart on loan, says James Ducker from the Telegraph. He should be leaving on loan. That's the right thing for him to do. And he needs to leave on loan. And that's going to be very straightforward. I think it's just going to go back to the Liga. So we don't have to talk about it that much. He's been exciting in the preseason, like Elanga and Pellistri. Probably the 2 players I've been most excited watching this preseason so far. But I think Pellistri should be leaving. Simple as that. Victor, you're saying I could join other YouTube channels member, but not this one. Maybe it's not set up properly, Sam. Victor, I will look into that after this. I have no idea why so many of you are struggling to join as members, because you all should be able to join as members. I all want you to be part of that family. Familam, I really just said Familam. I should just ban myself from YouTube for saying that. My God, what an awful thing to say. Forgive me, please. Forgive me. But look, going back to what I was saying earlier and what I've been saying the entire stream, Manchester United want to make more signings. As James Ducker says here, United are looking to raise funds and free up space on the wage bill in order to allow Solskjaer to make more additions before the close of the transfer window, at the same time as ensuring first-team fringe players get more regular football next season. So it's a bit both. It's a bit of both. He needs to sell. Man United need to sell. We need to find buyers. We haven't got the buyers just yet, and I wouldn't say it's dragging out because it's only really developed in the last week or 2 because we've been focused on Varane and we've got Sancho over the line. We've got the 2 big things done. But United need to move aggressively now and get these loans done and sorted. Hopefully, we can get a few of them done before the season opener against Leeds. That will be an important cutoff point, because as soon as you then start bringing signings in, you're bringing them into a season that's already began, and it makes it harder. It does make it harder. Martin asking if you remember on Facebook. I'm not sure, Martin. I'll check after, but if not, there's a little link in the description of this video. There's a video pinned to the top of the page. Just hit the support now button and get involved. Simple as that. Edward, you're saying that's okay, fam. I appreciate that. Thank you for letting me off. Let's just pretend that never happened, right? I wonder if Roma want any more Deadwood, says T. Royce, all the way from Perth. Look, if Mourinho wants Matic back, cool. Just give us 40 million. We can't sell Matic. Matic has to be replaced, but we can't sell him because we do not have enough strength in depth there. Now, this is something that I definitely want to talk about quickly because it's something that we need to. You can let me know in the comments here. What is your opinion on Harry Kane? Harry Kane this summer now has decided to rebel. He is rebelling against Spurs. He's not turned up for training on Monday. It looks like he's not going to train. He wants to force a move. He wants to move to Man City. That's always been what has been touted this summer, but City are about to sign Jack Grealish for £100 million. Are they really now going to sign Harry Kane for more than £100 million? I mean, Jesus, I hope not. But Spurs reportedly don't want to sell to a Premier League rival. It's all sort of like toys are getting thrown out the pram there. Kane has clearly been promised things which haven't been followed up by Spurs, but Spurs have tied him down to a long-term contract with no release clause. Therefore, Spurs can do what they want. But would you want Manchester United to sign Harry Kane this summer? The opportunity is there to sign Harry Kane. Is it a Robin van Persie type situation where you can sign the best striker in the league and then go on to win the league next year? Or is it a case of, look, man, a striker's not exactly what we need this summer. That 100 million, I'd rather we spend it elsewhere and not there. I'd rather Manchester United wait until we can go after Erling Haaland next year for 75 million. Let's have a look. Let me see what you think about this in the comments below. Got Adam saying, I think it's shitty what he's done. Just proves if players dig their heels in, it's clearly they're bigger than their club. Look, Spurs have got him on a long-term contract. As I said, the Spurs have the negotiation power and tools here. But I think, for me, it strikes me as Daniel Levy has promised Harry Kane something which hasn't been upheld. And therefore, Kane is starting to throw the toys out the pram. Victor saying, Kane is Owen going to City. Don't worry. He's old news. Haaland to United. Out of the two, like Simon says there, wait for Haaland. My own personal opinion, I would definitely wait for Haaland. I love the idea of signing Haaland. My God, Haaland is... Haaland and Sancho, baby. 2022-23 season. We're winning the treble. Victor saying, if United get Kane and a CDM, we are champions. And that's the other side of the coin, isn't it? You sign Harry Kane, you've guaranteed... You've signed 20 goals. You sign Harry Kane, you sign 20 goals. Therefore, you might win the Premier League if you sign him. Therefore, he might be worth 100 million. Well, Gazmo saying, if Jack is worth 100 mil, Levy has every right to ask for more for Kane. He's had a golden boot, more winners, more golden boots than Jack has Premier League seasons. Look, Kane is the best striker in the Premier League. It's just whether or not you think that United should take advantage of the opportunity that he's trying to force a move away and try and come in for him. 150 mil for Kane, says AJ. Would have been a good signing, but agree, I'd rather go for Haaland next season. I'll be honest, I think that's exactly what Manchester United feel. And I can't see us going after Harry Kane. And maybe it'll be a situation like Alexis. I don't think it'll be like Alexis Sanchez. He was a proper mercenary. But Harry Kane, he wants to win trophies. He really wants to win trophies. And he was so close. He's lost a Champions League final and a Euro 2020 final. He could have both of those. My God. Aaron saying Raiola will want to move Haaland on after a couple of years. Now, that, again, is a very fair point. I tell you what, this is why it's a debate, ladies and gents. This is why I ask you for your opinions in the comments, because there are so many good opinions here. You're going to have to deal with Mino Raiola if you sign Erling Haaland. And you're right. Basically, if we sign Haaland, we sign him temporarily. We know that in 2-3 years' time, he's going to be pushing for that move, and he's probably going to go to Real Madrid. Probably. You sign Harry Kane. I don't think Harry Kane's going to make a major move past this move. I think wherever Harry Kane, if he does leave Spurs, wherever he goes, I think he'll spend the majority of the rest of his career there. Harry Kane doesn't strike me as a man that really has any intention of moving from one club to another. I mean, look, he hasn't. He's been at Spurs his entire career until this point. And I think anybody who does sign Kane will get Kane for a very long time. And again, that's part of the reason why he's worth so much money. Picture him saying, but we have Cavani, so get a CDM and wait for Haaland. And I think that's probably the reason, the main reason why there's no chance of us signing Harry Kane is we don't have the money for it this summer. And if we're going to sign one player in one position now, we all know it's got to be that defensive midfielder. And therefore, any move for Harry Kane, even if the opportunity is there, man. But I don't think it's an opportunity that United can physically afford to take. I don't think we'll have the money there. Got Stefan saying, I think Kane should go to City. We have Cavani this season, and next summer we get Haaland. I think this process is already thought through, even with the extension of Ole. I hope so. I hope that conversation came up. Haaland next year, 75 million. We know what he's available for. We know that everybody's going to be in for him. He's going to have... Haaland's going to be sitting there next summer, just looking down And every single club in world football is going to want him. He's like, where do I go? What do I want to do? And that's where he's going to be taking advice from Raiola, saying you should go here and then go here. They're going to be mapping out his entire career path. And that's why he will leave United after, a few months? Easily. No chance that we're going to be keeping Haaland for his career. But I don't care. I don't care. I want to sign him, man. I really want to sign him because we need goals. And fingers crossed, this man this season can come up and score some goals. Look at that haircut. Woo! Ice cold. Ice cold. What do you think about Anthony Martial this season? You let me know in the comments below. But he's rejoined Manchester United. He's rejoined Manchester United's squad. And he's in Scotland. He's part of the pre-season training camp. Martial had a very, very forgettable year last year. The year before, he was fantastic. Last year, he was crap. This is most definitely the final year for Anthony Martial at Manchester United in terms of his opportunity. If he nails it, he's going nowhere. If he doesn't nail it, he is leaving. He's absolutely leaving. But do you think he will nail it this year? Victor, how you doing, my friend? Thank you very much for Super Chat. You're saying if United sell and fund some money and we keep Pogba and don't manage to get CDM, we should go all in for Kane because Haaland will maybe move away from United. So Kane will be a good signing and we win trophies. Look, I think you sign Harry Kane. As I said, you guarantee yourself 20 goals. You make yourselves far more likely to win the Premier League this season with Harry Kane than without him. And it all depends on what Manchester United's long-term ambitions are. Because what we're doing with signings right now, we're signing long-term signings. People like Alexis Sanchez, we signed that to try. It was a Mourinho-type signing, wasn't it? We signed him to try and win the league that year, and it didn't work at all. And that's not really what United do. And I don't think it's what we will do. Got Abby, you're saying, not at the price being quoted for Kane, 120, 30 million, wait till next summer and sign Haaland. Pretty much the majority of you think that, but you can't rule out the fact that Kane would and could be a good signing for United this year. Ian Wright, go on, lad, says Richard Williams. Hey, big up. He's gone baldy. He's gone, whether it's Ian Wright or it's Thierry Henry, he's gone sharp. He's gone cold. Martial is smiling. I don't know, is that a smile? I don't really think that's a smile. I mean, that's a smile. That's a smile. Hey, look, Martial not smiling. I like that character he's got, and he plays up to it. He's a character. He's a happy guy. We all know that. Victor and Martial looking sharp. He'll prove everyone wrong. I really, 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 really hope that he proves everyone wrong. And I got slated in when I said that maybe like the Black Gloves wait for the masterclass for Martial this season on Twitter because I've slated him, and I have slated him because he was shit. Simple as that. I'm allowed to criticize him. I'm very much allowed to compliment when a player's playing great, like he did the entire season the year before. Martial set the levels of himself when he burst onto the scene. Under Louis van Gaal, scored 15 goals, I think, in that campaign. Scored on his debut against Liverpool, scored 2 against Southampton the game after, and left Van Dijk in a puddle of mess on the floor. That's why people are harsh on Martial, is because of the expectations that he's created on himself by being such a good footballer. This season, I want to see that Martial back in the game. I want to see him tearing it up at United, and I think he can do that. Fingers crossed he can, because we need more goals this season. Of course we do. We can't be relying on Edinson Cavani to be doing it from number 9 all season. I don't think that he's going to be fit enough to do that. I don't think Martial's best position is going to be there, but I think we will see him play there. I think Greenwood should be playing there more often. I think I would rather see Martial out on the left, especially because Marcus Rashford is out until September. Or October there. Sorry. Is that Phil Jones in the background? Is that why everyone... I genuinely, on my life, I hadn't seen Phil Jones in the background. That's going to be funny. Hey, look, Sancho and Martial link up. That could be sweet. Jack saying he needs to sharpen his finishing touch. Look, he can be sharp, and he has been sharp. It's just he's hot and cold, but when he's hot, we need more of that hot this season. And that made me smile, Edward. Dion Dublin back in training. Dion Dublin, if you ever watched Dion Dublin on the old, what is it? Homes Under the Hammer. He's like, stairs up to the bedroom. There's a little video I put out on Twitter. There's a little compilation. I don't know why someone is taking the time to do it, but it cracked me up of just Dion Dublin saying, yeah, so I walk into the hall and there's a stairs up to the bedroom. It's just a compilation of him saying that. And for some reason, it making me laugh. Victor, how you doing, my friend? If United manage to pull off these signings, Kane, Neves, maybe Trippier, and Selson Deadwood. Wow, this is the club I fell in love with. Ruthless United, always looking to bring in big names. Kane is world class. There is no chance that United sign Kane, Neves, and Trippier on top of Sancho and Varane. I don't think. Even if we were to sell Pereira, sell Lingard, loan Tuanzebe, loan Williams, loan Dalot, loan Pellistri, that's 6 deals. Even if we did all that, I don't think there's any chance of us going out and making big signings like that. I think of all of them, at this particular moment in time, the most likely looking is Kieran Trippier. I want it to be Ruben Neves. I want it to be Eduardo Camavinga. I want it to be Saul Niguez. I want it to be a mid-central midfielder, ladies and gentlemen. You know that, and we all know that we need that. At this particular moment in time, there's far more noise. There's far more noise about Trippier than there is about anything else. I find that a little bit strange. I've always found it strange that Manchester United have not been probably going after a defensive midfielder or a central midfielder at least this summer, but it is what it is. That is what is happening. That needs to change. Let's see. But as it stands, Manchester United have got a lot to do. We want to put new cars in the garage, but we've already got 14 cars in the garage. We've got to get rid of a couple of the old bangers. The old Ford Escort. The old BMW 3 Series that we used to like, but it's not a good runner anymore. So we need to get rid of those, and we need to bring in the new ones. But to bring in the new ones, we need to make space first. And that is what is happening at the moment. That's why things are slowing down a little bit, ladies and gents. We're not seeing much movement in terms of new signings. We're not seeing too much movement in terms of that defensive midfielder that all of us want. That's because we need to sell players first. Hopefully that changes, but that's going to be the main driver of the stories. Raphael Varane, the frustrations there around a delay with him. I know it's a bit frustrating, and it is frustrating. We have signed Raphael Varane. That's not what I'm worried about. I'm worried about how he's going to settle in the team, how he's going to settle in his new country, in his new home, because Raphael Varane needs time to settle with his wife and his 2 kids. It's as simple as that. And that's why I'm a little bit worried about what's going on with Raphael Varane. Apparently, he's got to get that visa, which is delayed. Apparently, he's got to get quarantine, which I didn't know whether he had to or not. I don't know. Victor, how you doing, man? You leading the gang today. Since Ole came to United, we look like a new club. Hey, look, hell, we do. Hell yeah, we do. We look much better. And it makes me smile inside warmly when I see fans of other teams trying to poke fun and laughing at the fact that Solskjaer signed a new contract. You're ignorant. You're ignorant. You're massively missing the point of what Solskjaer has been doing the entire time at Manchester United. And we are in a stronger position now. Bro, we just signed Varane and we just signed Sancho. Laugh at us all you fucking want, man. We are a better version of Manchester United than we have been since 2013. And I do not give a fuck what fans of other clubs think about Solskjaer staying on as manager. They tried to suck Frank Lampard off. Oh, look how good he's going to be at Chelsea. Oh, my God, look at all the signings he's been... Oh, he's got Havertz. He's got sacked. Absolutely binned off and sacked. And they won the Champions League that year, so the squad was great. Frank Lampard, absolutely cack as a manager. He didn't get anywhere near as much stick as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer got. And it's the criticism that comes with the territory. We're Manchester United, ladies and gentlemen. We pissed off the Premier League for 20 plus years. Therefore, the criticism that's going to come our way and has come our way and will come every player's way at Manchester United is always more intense. Doesn't mean it doesn't piss me off, though. I just want to say that. Jones will stay at United for life, says Terence Tibbs. Terry Tibbs. Terry, you got to get back to Phone Jacker, mate. There's a couple of new episodes of, if anybody loves Phone Jacker, I love Phone Jacker, one of the OG comedy series. There is a podcast, a Phone Jacker podcast on YouTube, on Spotify. I would recommend it. There are some new Terry Tibbs episodes on there, and I like Terry Tibbs. Orgasmo, you're saying if we can sell Paul Pogba 50 million, we could fund Camavinga and Neves signing. That would improve our squad so much more. Look, again, it's a football manager type idea, Orgasmo, and you're not wrong. Sending a player that doesn't want to be, if he doesn't want to be here anyway, sending Paul Pogba and bringing 2 players in there would certainly strengthen our squad. Paul Pogba is very much irreplaceable, though. We all know that. I think Donny van der Beek could come on and improve this season, but we're going to struggle to really properly replace Paul Pogba if he leaves. Your name is Terence Tibbs and you don't know what Phone Jacker is. I think you're lying, mate. Abby, you're saying Greenwood is better than Martial as a number 9. He's 2-footed, has better movement completely. That's why he is in my number 9 position in my squad. Hopefully, later on today, there's going to be another video, ladies and gentlemen, a lovely short video written and not written, produced by the new video editor. And that's going to be all about Manchester United's squad, looking at the strength we have in each position and where the weaknesses are and what our starting 11 is and what our second 11 is, because that was a big weakness last year at Manchester United. That is coming out later today, as long as things happen probably. What I will do now is I will wrap up this live stream. We've had lots to talk about. As I've said, there are so many transfers that have to happen at Manchester United. I'm not just talking about signings. We all want a defensive midfielder. We all probably want a backup to, not all of us. Some of us want Kieran Trippier, some of us don't. But both of those depend on clearing the decks. What's going on with Paul Pogba? Are we going to sell him? Are we going to keep him? That's priority. What's going on with Jesse Lingard and Andreas Pereira, the two players who we should be selling, not loaning. And then we've got all the loan deals. We've got Williams, Tuanzebe, we've got Dalot, we've got Pelistri. There's probably more that I've forgotten about. There's so much that has to happen between now and the end of the summer transfer window. That really is going to be a busy, busy time for Manchester United. Maxwell saying, Sam, I foresee 1 million followers on this channel for you soon. I hope you're a fortune teller, and that would be lovely. You are very good. I appreciate that. And you're a cracking audience, as always, this community. You let me know. No, you don't let me know, actually. You always do let me know. But drop a like on the video, as always. It really does help the channel. And fire in your comments and the super chats. And join if you can, if your country allows you, apparently. Join as a member. Hit the join button down below. Become a member of the squad. All money that comes in there is going to get reinvested back into making the channel bigger and better. But I will be back here tomorrow, as I always am. Hopefully, I'll be back here later, not with a live video, but with another video on the channel. If not, I'm sure it'll be tomorrow. But you enjoy yourself. If you want to follow me on Twitter, @SamPeoples_, go over there. Join me on there. Thank you very much for everybody joining in this morning. But we have got a lot to do in terms of getting this squad ready for next season. It's going to be a busy few weeks for United, that's for sure. Anyway, take it easy, everyone.